We asked Chicago area moms and dads for their favorite family-friendly outings, and they answered. Today, we'll jump to dizzying heights, cast magical spells to rid the world of evil dragons, and pirouette like a ballerina.
One of my areas of expertise.
True that. Plus, we'll head to the kitchen to mix a batch of creamy, crunchy cinnamon apple dip.
So get ready to round up the rascals, gas up the minivan, and go exploring. A brand new episode of Playground Chicago launches right now.
Hello and welcome to Playground Chicago, the show that crowdsources from you, our viewers, the area's best family destinations and puts them to the test. I'm Ann Johnsos.
And I'm Gary Cohen. So let's meet this week's adventure-seeking moms and dads who are video chatting with us from across Chicagoland with the recommendations and reviews. Stay-at-home mom Chrissy Leonard's 3 children love the outdoors, but her 2 daughters are following in mom's footsteps at the dance studio. Newspaper columnist Howie Ludwig says his boys go crazy for Legos, Harry Potter, and adventure-packed video games.
So do I.
Finally, real estate attorney Amy Oside's teenage boys are pretty competitive, playing for keeps on the baseball field and on the ice.
So let's jump online and meet mom, Amy Oside, who's joining us from her home on Chicago's north side. Hi, Amy.
Hi there.
Tell us about your family.
I have 2 boys, Nicholas and Cameron. They're 16 and 14. And Nicholas is very into sports, very athletic, loves to sit around watching sports on TV all the time. Cameron is a little more creative and likes magic and Rubik's Cubes and things like that. So it's really hard to find things that they both like to do together.
Does sound a little challenging. Where did you end up choosing?
We picked Extreme Trampoline in Buffalo Grove. That was my pick because they never come up with anything. And when I come up with something, they say, do we have to go? So they were kind of ambivalent to this, which is a positive thing with teenage boys. And so we tried it out.
Well, let's take a look.
There's something just inherently fun about jumping on a trampoline. Whether you're 3 years old or whether you're 40 years old, it just kind of brings the kid out in you. The kids love it, and that's the main thing. They go home, they're texting their friends, they're Facebooking their friends. What a good time they had here, and it was so fun, and it was so different than what they're used to doing. 2 hours is about the maximum that kids can get here. After about an hour and a half, they're pretty tired. There's really nothing like this experience. They have fun, they're getting great exercise, it wears the kids out, the parents are happy. I'd say it's a win-win situation for the whole family.
So Amy, you said your boys are 14 and 16 years old, and those ages don't mean that they always want to do the same thing. So what about Extreme Trampolines brought you guys together?
It was just something I was trying to get them out of the house. We're between sports seasons, so baseball is just starting and golf is over, and there's just not a lot to do. They're literally sitting around.
So when you go in there, describe the scene for us. Is it, 1 trampoline, 2 trampolines? How does it work?
It's like a million trampolines all stuck together. It's not like these trampolines that we jumped on, where you sat on the side while the other kid jumped in the middle when we were kids. They're back to back. They have walls, they have basketball hoops, they had a foam pit, they have dodgeball. There's a ton of different things for the kids to do. It was fabulous. I thought we'd be in there 10 minutes and they were blowing the whistle to get them out of there.
And tell me, is there a place for adults there, or is there food?
There were vending machines. That was a little disappointing. That was maybe the only thing I would say was disappointing. They have an over 21 room, and the over 21 room had like couches, a big screen TV, Wi-Fi. I think they're missing an opportunity. They could put a bar in there. That would be really nice for them.
Yes, they could.
I could have had a grand old time with that.
Chrissy, your kids are between ages 2 and 9, so how did Extreme work out for such a wide age range of both boys and girls?
Well, Extreme does have a minimum age requirement to jump, which is 3 years old. So I had to leave my youngest at home, but
with a sitter, I hope.
with Dad. But my 5-year-old and 9-year-old did enjoy it immensely. It was an hour of literally bouncing off the walls.
Okay, so Howie, your kids are into video games. Was it hard to pull them away from the Xbox and get them onto the trampolines?
It was, but once we got there, we had a great time. I was kind of skeptical because $12 a person is pretty expensive, but once I got there, I realized $12 is a bargain for this place. I mean, it's huge and there's lots of stuff to do, so my kids had a blast.
And they don't charge the parents to go in with their children, so I thought the price was right.
Was there anything about Extreme Trampoline that you didn't like?
I thought the lines were pretty long at times. Again, my boys are ages 5 and 6. They don't do waiting in line very well. While we were waiting for the trampolines, that was definitely a downside. Once they got on the trampolines, they had a blast.
And I didn't have that problem at all because we went on a weeknight. We went before closing, like 8:30ish. And like I said, we had it all to ourselves, so I would recommend going at that time because we didn't have that problem. We had the opposite of that problem. It was great.
The trampolines are separated by age, understandably so for safety reasons. Had I known that before I visited, I would have invited another adult to join me to help supervise the kids.
Yeah, did you have to run back and forth between the trampolines?
I basically stood in the middle and watched two trampolines on opposite sides of the building, so it was challenging.
That sounds really relaxing. Okay, fess up. Did any of you guys go on the trampolines yourselves?
I did not. So $24 versus $36, I decided to sit out. But I'm not going to make that mistake the next time.
I am not making that mistake the next time either. I would have paid the $12 if I would have known that the whole deal was going to be worth it. They look like they had so much fun, and next time I'm not missing my opportunity. No way.
I did not jump. My children are younger, so I spent my time supervising them on the various trampolines.
The age is 3 years old for younger kids to jump. Would you feel comfortable bringing your youngest to jump when she's old enough?
Absolutely, because they have age-specific areas for her. So I respect that rule, and yes, I will bring her.
And they have refs. They are standing there with a whistle and they are watching like lifeguards looking for drowning children. My kids were annoyed by it. I thought it was fabulous. They were really, really watchful, and they were just teenage boys, but they were really on it.
Amy says Extreme Trampolines is a hit for her family. Let's see if Chrissy and Howie feel the same.
I do like Extreme Trampoline, and I would keep it in mind for future play dates, and I would invite children that are the same age as my children so that they can jump together.
So I would definitely visit Extreme Trampolines, although this time I would call ahead to find out when's the best time to go.
Sounds like weeknights are your answer.
I think so.
When it comes to price, all of our parents say Extreme is a reasonable option for families. Everyone agrees the energy level is high, and the best ages for attendance are 9 years old and up, though Howie says his younger kids still had a good time. Extreme's vending machines aren't enough to feed hungry kids in between bouncing, but the 21 and older area for parents has some promise. All of our parents agree Extreme Trampolines is fun for both kids and the entire family, and all 3 of our parents say they would go back. Extreme Trampolines is located at 485 Mission Street in Carroll Stream, and there's another location in Buffalo Grove at 950 Bush Parkway. Log on to our website at playgroundchicago.com for more details about Extreme Trampolines.
When we come back, it's a mystical journey to the western suburbs where Howie Ludwig's kids unleash their inner wizards at Magic Quest. But first, let's head into the kitchen with Playground Chicago's own Chef Laura. She's got a bushel of apples and a dip recipe that's sure to please your family's pickiest eaters.
Hi, I'm Chef Laura with Chefs for a Day in Willowbrook, Illinois. As a parent, I'm always looking for tasty foods to take on the go with my kids. So what I've come up with is this great recipe that's an energy booster. It's got crunch, it's got creamy, all these textures involved with it. It's called my Creamy Crunchy Cinnamon Apple Dip. Uses ingredients that you have in the house like honey and apples, and a new ingredient that's loaded with fiber, rice cakes. First, we're gonna start out with some fat-free cream cheese. And you're gonna just go ahead and mix it up till it's nice and creamy and smooth. I'm gonna use a pretty small amount of this honey, and I don't know if you knew this, but honey never spoils. The other thing that I'm going to use are either Granny Smith apples or I'm gonna use Braeburn. And I like these because they're crunchy. They've got nice flavor. Braeburn is sweet on the sweet side, but Granny Smith are on the tart side. So you've got a combination of textures, flavors going on. Cutting your apples in thin slices, and we're gonna put those together and cover them with this creamy mixture. And the other last thing that we're gonna use is cinnamon. I'm only gonna use about a tablespoon or so, and I'm gonna add it to the cream cheese mixture. I'm gonna go ahead and mix all of this together. And the best part of this is you can actually take this, put it in a Tupperware bowl, and take it with you on the road. So the last thing I'm gonna do is add this creamy mixture to a crunchy rice cake. And kids just love this because they get the combination of both textures all at one time. I like to use the brown rice cakes. It's a great snack. It smells fabulous. I can smell that cinnamon now. Here you go. For this recipe and some other great delicious treats, check us out online at chefsforaday.com and playgroundchicago.com. See you next time.
That's it for Playground Chicago. A big thanks to Amy, Chrissy, and Howie for hanging out with us this week.
And moms and dads, if your family has a favorite destination, share it with us at playgroundchicago.com. You can also watch past episodes online and check out exclusive content and find money-saving deals for the whole family. We'll see you next time on Playground Chicago.